Hey, if Les Stroud can do this handheld tripod off the arm thing, I can give it a try. I'm Derek Dietrichson, as the cars were in the background from Tiny Yellow House TV, this not being an episode of that, from RelaxShacks.com, author of Humble Homes, Simple Shacks, new version out 2012. I have another video on the RelaxShacks.com YouTube channel showing you the HD Thoreau cabin. We're here, Walden Woods, but I realized I never showed you the ruins, the actual real deal site of the cabin that once stood, the one you saw in the other video, which you can check out on YouTube, again, RelaxShacks.com, spelled out. Gives you a full tour of the interior. But let's take a look at the old site where the cabin actually was. So here we are in front of the HD Thoreau cabin. As I mentioned in one of the other videos, we gave you the full tour of the interior. This time around, we're going for a little hike, heading down the trails to show you where the cabin, the real one, this being a recreation, once stood. Here's a quick shot of the pond and the swimming area. If you come here in the summer, when it's not raining, as it is today, this place is nuts. One of the cleaner ponds I've ever seen, too. It would be great for snorkeling in terms of freshwater snorkeling, which I have yet to do, here at least. So as I mentioned, it's raining here today. If you ever want to visit this place in the summer, they only allow, which is kind of cool, 1,000 people in at a time to keep things uncrowded, uncongested, which is 360 cars approximately. So if you want to visit, just a tip, try to visit during a weekday. If you pick some scorching hot day where everyone wants to go swimming, you'll be waiting for them to kind of circulate cars in and out. Just a little tidbit. Taking the trail that goes along the pond here. As you can see, there's a swimming area, but you're allowed to swim as many do anywhere in the pond. A lot of people come here early to do laps, get their exercise. Like I said, it's gorgeous here. A lot of the trails you take here are really sectioned off because they're trying to fight erosion here near the pond. Very steep slopes down towards this pond, which is fairly deep for a pond of its size. I think when Thoreau surveyed it out, one of the deepest spots is about 101 feet. So as you can see right here next to the trail, the pond's about 2 feet away, which is where my feet are. Down there it's about a 5-foot drop, so it's pretty steep. So please stick to the trails. Help preserve this place. A lot of makeshift little swimming holes here. You see a lot of people just hike around the pond and find their own beach and own place to swim. These are kind of some natural steps here. I don't know if you can get a feel for it, but the water here, like I said, is so clear. It's very sandy at the bottom of this pond too. It's not all mucky and silty. Probably can't see what I'm talking about, so I sound like a fool. More so. Here we are approaching the end of the pond, the far end of it. It's a little bit of a hike before you get to the Thoreau cabin. Actually, since I've been here last, I can't recall if this bridge, which looks new, even existed. In Walden, Thoreau makes reference, you can't really see it here, to this little seasonal bay swamp that's kind of connected when the water is high to the main pond. Now the hike out here is probably a quarter mile to a half mile, not too bad. And for those looking for the Thoreau cabin, this is pretty much what's left of it. The cabin you see in the parking lot, not the real deal, although it's a very close likeness. They say the brick set in the fireplace, one of the rangers was telling me, is the one original piece from the cabin that used to be here on the far end of Walden Pond. This pile of rocks here is more a tribute, memorial cairn to his work. If you look at a lot of the rocks, there's writing on them, a lot of artists, poets, those choosing to live a simple lifestyle, those inspired by his work will come here and toss a stone, stack a stone in remembrance of Walden and HD's work. HD as I call him. We go way back. And over here is where the actual cabin was. These are stones. Let me back up, sorry. Stones left from the chimney foundation. And where these rocks are mapped out, this perimeter here is pretty much where the cabin was. I'll slowly spin so as not to give you that tilt-a-whirl dizziness. And that's how close he was to the pond. Actually a little further than most people realize, but it's a good 80 yards maybe. Someone actually had some stones carved out to be left here. They could be watching this video right now. My God, those are my rocks. A couple of random ones that are dated. A lot of them indecipherable. Stones from school field trips. This one's kind of cool. Pretty much sums it up. Earth is crammed with heaven. This site and these stones weren't really discovered or excavated until 1945 when they dug up, like I said, the remainder of the foundation for the cabin's chimney. And this right behind the cabin, the site of the woodshed, which the replica has as well.
Hey, by the way, not to convolute this thing with a million plugs, which I've kind of done already, but we have a bunch of other videos that just went up or will be going up on houseboats. We toured a tree house or two I've built for clients. A couple other tours of some micro houses or funky houses through Airbnb.com, which is an online alternative lodging site. A slew of stuff, so just check out that RelaxShacks.com channel. I'd appreciate it. Your support. It sounds like a Bartles and James slogan or commercial here, but just FYI.
Now, one thing that takes prominence throughout Walden is Thoreau's bean field, where he cultivated beans and sold many bushels of them at market to make what little money was required for him to live. This, believe it or not, where there's almost no sunlight today because of all the trees, is that bean field, or was that bean field. How times have changed.
Well, I remember way back in my day, there used to be a bean field. Me and the kids would come down here, listen to some Scott Joplin, plant beans, getting all sorts of trouble. And that more or less wraps it up. I didn't even intend to stop here today and shoot this place, but I happened to be passing right by it. I mean, literally right past it, to shoot and interview Cameron Shore, a 17-year-old who lives in a treehouse in Lincoln, Massachusetts. And honestly, every time I drive by here, I think to myself, I'd be an idiot not to stop and walk around, just kind of enjoy the surroundings, even though I've been here, I don't know, 6 or 7 times now, about 3 times this year. So thanks for joining us in part 2 of the Thoreau kind of impromptu tour. My name is Derek Diedrichson. Again, RelaxShacks.com for more information. If you're really into tiny houses, cabins, shacks, again, Humble Homes, Simple Shacks is the name of my book. It will be re-released, available now at RelaxShacks.com, but re-released through the Lions Press 2012, which could be way in the past depending on when you're watching this. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time, as I'm out of breath from the hike back. Woo!